Hey everybody, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kristina. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that special stuff going on here. It's just plain old me just talking about books. So, sorry. I didn't like this one as much as the previous ones. I guess I just wasn't as familiar with the history or the background story as the previous books. But we'll see what happens in the next one. But anyway, it's Steve Berry and the Malta Exchange. And so, like I said, I didn't enjoy this book as much as the previous books because there was a lot of history that I was unfamiliar with. I think more people died in this book than in previous books. I also didn't like the supposed religious people were doing some of the killing. The paper treasure hunt with puzzle was interesting, but I had trouble following it at times. They were looking for letters of Churchill and Mussolini, and a ring and some documents. Second here. So we have our favorite spy, Cotton Malone, who's an employee of Magilla Billet. Cassiopeia, who's a co-worker. She's mentioned. She doesn't appear in the book. Luke Daniels is a co-worker, but he's also the nephew of the former president and now U.S. Senator. Stephanie Nell is Cotton's boss. Laura Price is with Minolta Security. Castro Cardinal Gallo, him and his brother turn out to be a little on the evil side, so we'll have to check that out. And Chatterjee, and then Kevin Han, head of Minolta Security, and Sir James Grant, head of MI6. And it starts out with some interesting and horrific, a little bit of the exchange when Mussolini died. So there's a little bit of that, and then there's the intrigue about what the ring meant. So they're looking for they're looking for the ring, but they're also looking for the letters between Churchill and Mussolini, and two satchels that were filled with the letters. And there's supposed to be 55. I believe they only recover 11. So we'll see what happens with that. And then I'm not sure what they were looking for that, I believe. And there's a lot of interesting history in here. As some of it wasn't as true as I thought until I read the author's notes. That's what's the good thing about, I like this author, that he writes, this is what I put in the book to be true, and this is what I put in the book that I made up to expand the story. So there's the after the siege of 1565, when the Turks tried to forcibly take Malta, Grand Master Jean Parasitivat decided to build a fortified town on a barren limestone peninsula on the north coast. It would be Europe's first planned city since Roman times, laid out on a grid with a moat on its southern side and bastion walls all around. Harbor shield to the east and west, providing ideal anchorage. For a seafaring power like the Knights of Malta, the location proved a perfect headquarters, and they eventually adapted the island into an impregnable naval base. And then a quick perusal of the pages revealed carbon copies of originals and handwritten notes, many reports and assessments, some orders to the military, but the correspondence between Churchill and Mussolini was the jackpot. He scanned the 11 letters, easy for him as he was fluent in both German and Italian. One in particular, an original in English from Churchill to Deuce, made him smile. I write to implore you that we should thus discard the feelings of irration that might arise of our turpitude. The persistently perfidious opportunity with which success governments of ours have tried to falsify our relationship. Of late, circumstances in this world have obliged us to conduct business together, and we can scarcely conduct business in a spirit of moral indignation. Look at these big words. So we do that, and I was a little confused about Castor and the Gallows. It turns out they're brothers and they're twins. And a lot of people get killed in this book. A lot of people. And I didn't know who to believe. I didn't know who was real and who wasn't. This Daniel Spagna was Archbishop, and he was the Pope's spymaster, and he found a ton of embezzlement by other cardinals and popes, and he was gonna use that to help the other guy. They were gonna blackmail these guys and straighten out the corruption in the church. Apparently, they're lying about a lot of it. They're saying they have $2 when they actually have 5 type situation. Like I said, I didn't. 2 years ago, the Holy Father directed that I conduct a confidential assessment and, if possible, an audit of certain departments within the Holy See. Prior to becoming Pope, while he was Cardinal, the Holy Father had served with a variety of departments and was concerned about what he termed systemic waste, fraud, and abuse. I requested to conduct a thorough but wholly secretive investigation, drawing no attention to my efforts. After 20 months of clandestine study, I can now provide the following summary. There is little no transparency in any of the bookkeeping maintained within the Holy See. In fact, it is common practice for the departments to maintain 2 sets of records, one that can be shown to anyone who might request information, the other detailing the actual income, costs, and expenditures. This practice is well known to the cardinals currently overseeing those departments, as it is done under their direct supervision, and many of them personally retain the more accurate second set of books. So, we've got that. Then we've got the Knights of Justice. Professed men who took religious vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. They were the last remnants of the former hospitallers. They were also its ruling class, holding all of the important positions of power. The order itself was impressive. 104 countries maintained formal diplomatic relations, including an exchange of embassies. It possessed its own constitution and relatively operated within 54 nations, having the ability to transport medicine and supplies around the world without customs inspections or political interference. It even possessed observer status in the United Nations, issuing its own passports, license plates, stamps, and coins. Not a country, as there were no citizens or borders to defend, or a sovereign entity. All of its efforts focused on helping the sick and protecting its name and heritage, which members defended zealously, but the Knights were troubled big time. So there's lots of corruption. There's lots of searching for these documents. There's lots of these. Everybody's getting killed. I mean, there are so many people killed in this book. So many of the major players get killed. You feel, it. I don't know. It just bothered me that so many. I couldn't tell who was the good guy, and I couldn't tell who was the bad guy. Well, except I know Cotton is a good guy. I know Luke is a good guy, and I know Stephanie was a good guy. But other than that, I wasn't sure who was good or who was bad or who was double dealing or who was backstabbing. So you'll have to check it out. Oh, I wanted to mention one more thing if I can find it here. The oh, where's the diagram? I know I wrote it down. Where's the... Let's see. Wait a second. Let me look. So this ring, oh, here it is. This ring has this stuff in it. See? The Latin has been interpreted many different ways, Gallo said. One variation is something like the sow with the eye on the plow holds its wheels with care, which is nonsense, as are all of the other interpretations, including Grant's from earlier. The real message is hidden. Gallo reached inside his pocket and removed a pen and small notebook. He drew the cross of squares and inserted letters, adding 4 other boxes across the cross. Taken together, the letters of the 5 words are anagram. The key is the N at the middle. All of the letters in the palindrome are paired except the central N, which stands alone. By repositioning the letters around the central N, a cross can be made that reads Pater Noster in both directions, Latin for Our Father, and the first 2 words of the Lord's Prayer. The remaining 4 letters are 2 A's and 2 O's, are reference to Alpha and Omega, the beginning and end, symbols of eternity. The book of Revelation for Christians, the 4th century, that meant the omniscience of God. And he draws the same. I don't know. I'm going to see this. If you use the ring and its message and the cross, you get the Maltese cross on Malta, and that's how X marks the spot where the treasure is. But so you have to read it to get the full impact. But they're after the 3 documents. The author said he made one of these up. I forget which one, but it's Nostradu, Pi Postulato Volatus, Ad Providium, and Constitutium Constantine. So you'll have to check that out. It's a good book, but like I said, I was confused about a lot of stuff, and I couldn't tell who the good guys and the bad guys were in it. But please check it out, and please hit the like and subscribe. I've got this little bit of fantasy of hitting 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. It's probably not possible. Ooh, you're naked. Somebody lost their collar. We need to go find the collar. So please hit the like and subscribe. Like I said, I've got this fantasy of hitting 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. It's just something maybe you could do for me. I'd really appreciate it. Please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you.